Hello, once again, I have returned. It's Sunday, by the way. Probably should be saying that in my videos. May 22nd. Well, a little bit. I hope, as always, everyone is well. And with that, I'm going to first talk about UFOs, UAPs, USOs, and I'm getting no data. Why is that so? I see it. Well, excellent condition. It's all a distraction. I'll turn the camera on here in a moment. I'm going to talk about UFOs. Because I think that it is time for the people before Congress. Right? So I'm going to explore that for a moment, get it out of the way, in case anybody would have clicked the link, want to know what that's all about. Because then I'm going to move on to other topics of interest to me. The thumbnail. And then I'm going to end the stream with a coming out party celebration. Yeah, pronouns and all galore. So, turn the camera on. I am a real person. Again, I hope everybody is well. Special shout out to Sandy. Sandy is my AI YouTube bot. Yeah. I've got to find some levity in this whole situation of censorship, but I don't want to get on that. Let me continue with the UFOs. Congress has been listening to the government, officials within the government that work in military. They've been asked questions by Congress, and these individuals have been answering. Where is the people? Don't the people get a turn? It just seems like the people should have an opportunity to voice their experience. I don't understand. It's like only if it's the military that can confirm something like what is being claimed. It's time for the people, and I believe it should be started with the first person that should lead the charge is Dr. Stephen Greer. Why? I think that Dr. Greer brings the most sanity to the table. I know that may sound off to some because Dr. Greer does speak of once you get through all the realization, the simple stuff, there's this higher plane, so to speak. Anyway, I did watch last night on third phase of Moon, an hour and a half, Dr. Greer giving his views, his thoughts on this hearing about UFOs, UAPs. I watched the chat too. A lot of people, they feel like he keeps saying the same thing over and over again. And I'm like, well, yeah. Duh. I guess in my mind, if I were looking for something with solidity, that's solid, if he keeps saying the same thing, and he has, and he's built on it, it's an ever-expanding, growing realization. That makes perfect sense, that he's saying much of the same thing. Maybe there's a reason why he's saying the same things, because, for one, he's bringing history into the equation, documents, official documents, the government, and the people, because this is a people experience. That's why, again, I full-heartedly believe that there are no relationships with this intelligence. I call it intelligence. Because how you're going to move forward if you don't embrace that it's intelligent, okay? On a whole new level. This is not in its domain, hence they're not here. We're not. I don't think they're ever going to be here in that sense. Maybe it's that I think the next step for humanity is huge. It's not a little step. They just took a step on the moon, and the next one following it is going to be even more tremendous, grander. Lou Elizondo. Again, I harken back to my stream the other night. A little bit crude and rude, and I'll get to that later on in this stream. I believe that these Tic Tacs, whatever this all is, has a high potential to be the government. Government within, who knows? All I know is I don't believe that it's extraterrestrial. Not that I'm saying there's nothing outside us, whether it's extraterrestrial or interdimensional. These videos are being used to warrant the need to pose them as a threat. what it comes down to. And that's going to generate money. You know, we got to be prepared now. We got to figure it out. That's going to cost money. Meanwhile, again, I believe this is government. Government. Back engineered, perhaps, maybe even bright minds. I will never underestimate the potential of a mind. Man's mind. So that's out there on the table too. All I know is we're being shown something that clearly is new. And if it can move the way it moves, if we could do that, what does that mean for you? Does that mean anything for you? Oh yeah. Goods from one side of the world to the other. Like that. Apparently. Right? That's just the beginning, and I don't want to spend this stream going over the endless applications to what we're looking at. For the moment, it's being shared to you, the world, as a potential threat. It's an unknown. So the war machine must step up to the plate. We got to protect you. We got to protect us. Right? Again, where are the people standing before Congress presenting what they have, what we have? Because there's plenty there. And believe me, it's been screened and screened and screened again as time has gone by, filtered, so that you're not looking at a bunch of hoax, fakery. It's all they're unknown. They're unknown. Again, why is that not being applied to this Congress hearing? When I'm listening to people say we're not ready, listening to this Congress, the public's not ready. What do you mean the public's not ready? What do you know? What are you looking at? What are you seeing? Again, I think it's government. With the world in the state that it's in, it's very tense all around the world. This was a perfect opportunity to say, hey guys, check it out. Think twice about what you may be planning. I don't know. I think it's very plausible. It's not out of the realm of plausible. The government, let me put it this way. Let me make sure, because I jotted this one down, this thought. Yeah, you you cannot trick this intelligence. And that's what you've been trying to do. You've been attempting to trick this intelligence. And don't tell me you haven't. That's how man has operated throughout history to get the upper edge, upper hand So intentions have everything to do with what is happening, has happened, and what will happen. Intention. Your intention. My intention. Our intention. Why don't we see UFOs landing on lawns? Again, I ask, what is that going to do? What changes in you? I mean, do you have some kind of itinerary in your mind? You're set to go once you get to that point where a landing has occurred. I'm curious. Is there this expectation that you will be lifted up, cared for? I suspect many do. Yeah, the government, you know what I'm talking about. And you laugh. I'll laugh with you. You cannot trick this intelligence. That's why I said the other night that we're on page 1. If there's any kind of a meeting that's occurring with this intelligences, we're still on page 1. Why? Because we refuse to accept there are certain criteria that must be met before you go to page 2. And that's for our own safety. In a way. Watching out. Watching our back. See, people are waiting on UFOs to land so that, again, whatever that itinerary that's in the minds of many, they're going to go to step 2 when that happens, but they're waiting. Meanwhile, the reality of the situation is that this intelligence is the one that's waiting for you, waiting for me, waiting for us. Has been, is, and always will be. I can go on and on and on about UFOs, UAPs. I have lots of thoughts. Again, I think Dr. Stephen Greer, I'm not saying that he knows it all, and I would imagine that he is right on that page, but he wants to know more. Gotta lay a groundwork, foundation, and I feel he brings the foundation because he brings the history. And as all these people who are leaving comments, that he's been doing this for decades, and what better person to be laying a foundation? It's like, what, because he's been saying the same things, expanding on many of them, they all of a sudden now, because the Navy and the NATO and the government's releasing these videos of UFOs, Dr. Greer, that's where this people's moment, their time in front of Congress to share what they have. You know, hey, check this out. You know, this is our government, right? Why is it that the Navy and the government, NATO, whoever can make this call that this can't be, it shouldn't be talked about. Again, the public's not ready. BS. That's cow manure. Lots of it. That's an insult. The public's been decades, an era consumed with science fiction, science out there, in here. And in here plays a very key part to the whole experience. Dr. Greer is sharing that. Maybe that's what's pushing a lot of these people to leave comments as they do. They don't care for that aspect of it. I don't know. There is an intelligence here. And you and I and everyone and everything are connected to it. You are. Whether you acknowledge that or not doesn't change what is. You're connected. It's a done deal. You can't undo it. It's happened. It's happening. You're aware. I kind of want to shift to the thumbnail and get that out of the way. But I do want to say that this intelligence, as far as from the public's interpretation of the lights in the sky, the UFOs, the flying saucers, all of it, it's not all the government. And that aspect of it, this intelligence, it doesn't make itself aware without intention. Everything's intention. Your intentions, my intentions, turn into that second page with the criteria given to us as far as a relationship with this intelligence. Maybe I should put it this way. This intelligence knows a bad thing when it sees it, when it feels it, and it's not going to let that kind of energy into its domain. Makes perfect sense. It's like your home. You're going to guard your home. You're going to protect your home. And that makes perfect sense. And I respect that and I understand that. I'm not reaching for anything from this intelligence other than an opportunity to develop a relationship, a friendship, in which we both have a learning experience. Me, reaching this state of being where it is. And I imagine that I see it as its reason for this relationship is that joy and satisfaction of creating, helping guide another teacher. It's not about money. It's not about money. That's why I will continue to say, and I'm going to move on, the government, think about it, an intelligent race of beings, whether they're coming in discs, they're traveling through stargates, wormholes, dimensions, universes, however, wherever they come from. They're able to do what they do, be what they are, not out of greed. Why? Greed is motivated on a principle of one. You. Plain and simple. When there is no money, it's a principle of all. It's an idea. Why do you do what you do? For a moment. It's for all. Then as you go down, all the sub thoughts off of the lead off of it. But at the top, for all. And if all were on that thought, this world, why is this world the way it is? Because 90+% of the population, for all intents and purposes, is at poverty. They're at the poverty level. It doesn't matter if they have millions of dollars or not. Just as a whole, the whole of the money of the world, the majority of the planet are poor peons, because the majority of the money is only in the hands of a very few, making the decisions that influence the entire world. Why? I ask why because Mr. BG, Mr. Gates, is somehow appointed some world expert on health, and he's not. What has Bill Gates done? He created Microsoft. PC computers, started that whole. I don't even want to go into Silicon Valley and the pirates. He's not a health person, but he does have a lot of money, and so that's what we are in. A world where you could be the dumbest individual ever, but because you have a huge chunk of the money, that gives you a vote at the table, a say, input. That's retarded. I don't want such people making decisions that affect the entire world, which is exactly what's happening right now. So I'm going to go ahead and shift now from the UFOs. I won't stop. I'm sure in future streams I will continue my thoughts on that subject. So, the perfect storm is nobody knowing what to believe. Even that can harken to the UFO. But in my saying that, it was a reference to Nancy P. No, right? Right, Nancy? Because nobody knows, I think. Well, I shouldn't say nobody knows, but a great many are confused. They don't know what to believe. They're being told lies, lie after lie after lie. And then when they try to tell the truth, they're told that they're lying, and not only that, they need to be censored and shouldn't be allowed to say anything. That's sick and disgusting. It's twisted. and a backward step as far as the progression of thinking. It's ass backwards. I was happy to hear that today, Sunday, Miss Pelosi, or Mrs. Pelosi, was told she cannot participate in Holy Communion. And I thought, God is here, and I am with God, and I hope you are with God, because the other night I shared a moment of my crude rudeness, expressing, started off with a question, and then as it progressed, it angers me that Nancy Pelosi seems to talk about God quite often, from time to time, implying that God is right there on her side, with her, with us all, in the decisions that she makes. And I thought, you gotta be kidding me. You need to be careful, woman. And as I say that, I'm thinking of, because I said that the other night, this is exactly what I was talking about. Why I would go that direction and say such a thing. Because I can just see all the bots and all that, the flags going up, watch out, be careful. God. You should be careful, Miss Pelosi, if you're talking about God. Okay, God, like God said. Okay? Because I'm not telling you not to say the things you say. You say whatever you want. But I would be careful. Because you're talking about God. And I talked about God the other night in that same stream. And I made some extraordinary claims, put forth some extraordinary claims. And I'm going to go there too as I get to the end of this stream. Government is wicked. Okay? It is. It does not have your best interest at heart. It could give a flying you-know-what. I'm calmer today than I was the other night. And I wasn't the way I was without provocation. Government is in full hand-in-hand coordination with other agencies around the world pulling the greatest FU on you, on everybody. Oof, my leg. They are. They're doing it right in front of your face. They tell you. And the people that try to expand on that and provide some context, shed more light, a clearer picture, are prevented from doing such. That's all the more reason to come to your senses and understand that there's something foul afoot. It's wicked. And it does not want you here. The monkeys are coming to town. Now, I'm trying to be facetious. I think you're intelligent enough to understand what I'm saying, given the circumstances of what is beginning to play out on the world stage. Obviously, being one of those who's unvaccinated and not without reason, am trying to keep abreast of current affairs in regards to the monkeys coming to town, knowing that, well, I don't even want to go there. I want to say this. I'm happy that Elon, for the moment, and the whole Twitter, because I already can see, I don't use Twitter, but I do Google search or whatever search I'm searching. I will see links pop up to Twitter, and I'm like surprised to see that there, because there was that time when you would not have seen that. And I imagine this global cabal of evil, just the wicked thoughts in these individuals. They're not happy. They're not, obviously. Right away they create the Ministry of Truth, or whatever it is they're calling it here in the United States. And that was quick. That, again, another clear sign, an indicator that, if you're not already gotten, that they've already got you, then I don't know what much more it will take for those that are still searching for something to validate and verify whatever it is they already are thinking. Because I'm here to say what you're thinking is exactly what it is. The end is nigh. Those sirens, their day is coming, and you're going to hear something similar. If not that sound, who knows? You're going to hear it, and you're going to know. We're all going to know. This is crazy what's going on right now. Everything, we're primed. It's perfect. It's a perfect storm. The whole world. I only scrape the surface of the world because I'm here in the United States. I can only imagine, because I get to see a dose of here in the United States, and it's a mind blower. I'll be kind. It absolutely is a mind blower. Reality has been flipped upside down. What was no longer is, and what wasn't is. I mean, that's a very valid observation to come to. It is. I want to say this too before I go on. This is to Alex Jones, the song, the Mamas and the Papas, California Dreaming. Love the song, have for decades, and you were recently the other day, last week, you played it, and you were singing the song and the lyrics. And I feel compelled to put this in this stream of thought, that look up the lyrics, Alex. You gotta look them up, AJ, because it's a mind blower. The part about going into the church and getting down on your knees is not what you think it is. Not what they're saying. I really don't want to go into that, though. That'll get me into the Mandela Effect, which I've just kind of let be, and taken that whole experience as getting me primed and ready for what was to come, because it's all around me, just insanity. What was, it isn't that way anymore. And I don't even want to go down that road, just all the things that are going on. You should know by now. And if you haven't, or if you don't, then you shouldn't be watching the mainstream media. You should be banned on video. That's the launching point for that battle that we're waging. Stephen Greer, he should be at the White House leading the battle for disclosure. Just, if we're going to do this, the people need the truth. I think now more than ever. I can't believe we pay individuals to be leaders that really don't want to do anything for the public. I mean, the timing of it all. You can't. If there is an intelligence, we should begin a greater observation. Scientists should be pouring in to get in on this. Health. Maybe they do offer, this intelligence offers health, cures. I'm very open to that. And I would be disappointed if that isn't the case. Although I think the healing is going to be we're not even thinking on wherever this intelligence resides. Its knowledge base is far greater and vast in its size than ours. And healing is a whole new thing. Anyway, that's a very valid possibility. And with all this BS that's being pushed on us and forced down the people's throats, their sovereign right to be and to be free is being denied and taken away, given authority to someone that doesn't know you, doesn't look at you and take your life experience and the current moment taking it into account. You're just one of everyone who will do what they're told. Okay. I was going to end the UFOs. I want to get into the God and the pronouns. Because in my previous stream the other night, I'm upset and I'm angry. A lot going on. That was a lock I used, and if you want to know more about that lock, it's in the stream before this stream from the other night. Pronouns. What got me going on it, actually, I should begin at the beginning and be right and wrong. Okay? It's like there's no more right and wrong. It's like there's always going to be some other point that intersects between the right and the wrong. So you have no right and wrong, and you have no he and she and man and woman and male and female, and you all know what I'm talking about. The whole pronoun. I'm going to keep going because it just really agitates me and gets me going, because I want to shock you, because it is BS. It's caca. Pronouns. It was just fine. It's been just fine. See what it is. And this is why I got to the point I did in the stream the other night. This is why it's the way it is. these people, okay, whatever pronoun they're choosing, some animal, nothing, neither, in between, whatever it is, and it's growing, I recognize and understand it, that no matter what they choose, it will never work. It will never work. Not here. The only way for it to work is in a whole new world. And I'm not talking about taking this world and changing it into this world these people envision. It can't work that way. You're gonna have to get there and it makes, I don't understand why they don't resonate on this. Maybe they do. I don't do research on why these people are just lost touch. It is what it is here. You cannot be some other animal. Identifying as then go live in the environment that such animal lives in. Stay out of the society of grown-up thinking minds that accept who they are while striving to be more. And that more must meet the criteria of the environment around you. Otherwise, there's no reason for it to ever come to be. There has to be something to ground, to have a foundation on. Grow from before you can remove that foundation, because it's no longer needed anymore. This is absolute insanity. So I came to the realization, and it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And I'm going to keep going with it, that I'm going to play the game. That game. So for all those people out there who identify with something other than what they are, a male or female, or both if you're a hermaphrodite, for all those people that are not one or the other, there must be something else to satiate them and give them reason for being, a sense of worth. I am here celebrating coming out of the closet. And I have my pronoun, God. Very simply, God. And again, that goes out to all those people right now who are identifying with something else other than those pronouns we have, the majority of us grew up with. And no, they've been around for a long time. Yeah. To them. And you show the respect. Now, I'm going to try to keep this stream to about an hour, so I want to share some thoughts about me and the language that I could use, because I know that turns people off. Oh my, did you hear? Rude, crude. How could such an individual share the other thoughts that I share? Love. Forever. Which I wholeheartedly am and always will be standing with. Sticks and stones can hurt you, but words will never hurt you. Right? That's how it's supposed to be, and it is. It should be. People are too, you can get upset, but you don't have to get all psycho. You don't have to revenge. You know what I'm talking about. All the things people do to one another. I'll show you. I'll harken back to the UFOs real quick. That would add to the criteria of why we are not there. They're waiting for us. Okay, this intelligence is waiting for us. And what's the point? I mean, why would you go and stick your nose in where you're not wanted? Okay? You wouldn't. That would be like sticking their nose. They would be sticking their nose in, and because we don't want it. And that's the stance of the governments. They don't want to share what they know. They don't want to have an open debate and conversation. They don't want to stimulate possibility. They already have a rigorous agenda that's worked. It generates huge amounts of money and more power. More and more power. And they don't want to give that up. There's an intelligence with the potential to get from one point in time and space to another. Didn't get there fighting. Okay? They didn't. It doesn't happen. How could you? If you're spending your time using your time and resources on defending yourself against something, you don't have the time to be exploring and reaching out. This intelligence is not in communicado with governments. The governments lie, cheat, and steal. That's just so obvious. No one should have to defend that. I think we all know that. We've been witness to it long enough. And right now, more than ever, we know that. Because it's upside down. Gas is going up. I heard earlier today in the Los Angeles area, it was $7.30 a gallon. I remember. I know it was 7+. And we're not even in the summer yet. So that's coming. I don't doubt it. It's coming. What else could happen based on what's happening? Biden is the worst ever. But then again, that was the intention. The intention's for him to be where he's at. He's not there because of him. And he's not there because of the people. He's there because there is an agenda in place that demanded that he be there. Cheat to get him in there doesn't matter. because in the end, the end game, his role doesn't play out his role. That he's not needed, he's not required to be there at the end of this game. He's just a piece, a distraction. He's clearly a distraction, huge distraction. Everybody's wondering, WTF? Why is all this happening? Why are the babies having to be punished? There's no reason for this to have happened. And there's no defense of the government that was in control of monitoring and doing their job. There's no excuse. They need to be held accountable, and the only reason they would not be held accountable is because it's a corrupt government that orchestrated and initiated these bad policies and didn't do what they were supposed to do, and they're going to keep doing the same thing because it's the end. It is. I know you don't want to hear that, but I know a lot of you are ready for that, and I know a lot of you feel something in the air. It's thick. It's thick. You can feel it. You can't get away from it either. Harder and harder to escape the realization that this is it. How it's going to play out, how it finishes, I'd like to think that people will realize their potential to be more than they have been. And the only way to do that is to let go. Because if you hold on, you're never gonna move any farther from where you're at. You gotta let go. That's a scary thing. People, they don't want to let go. You have to let go of it all. Because all of it doesn't really, it's not going to be of any use. I didn't say you have to forget. I just said you have to let go. Memories, there's nothing wrong with memories. I think a lot of people, when I've shared letting go, they think I'm telling them that they should forget. And that's, didn't say that in the slightest. I said you have to let go. That's a part of forgiving. We're getting close. I'll be back. Till then, be well. Be well. Smile. Leave comments if you have any questions or thoughts. Be with God.